Okay, now we go to your Hymenelepis diminuta, the counterpart of your Hymenelepis nana. So this other name for this one is your rat tapeworm. So it's given already that its intermediate host for that would always be the rat. We're talking about the rat, fleas, or some beetles or rat, something like that. Okay, so we have here the morphology of your Hymenelepis diminuta for the proglottids. This one would have here 800 to 1,000 proglottids versus your Hymenelepis nana having only 200 proglottids. For the scolex, this one would have here the club shape, the scolex having 4 capsuckers versus your rhombic na scolex, rhomboidal or rhombic na scolex in your Hymenelepis nana. This one, however, is unarmed. Wala siyang hooks compared with your Hymenelepis nana. For the mature proglottis, this one would have your trilobe testes. And we have here the bilobe ovary. The trilobe testes, on the other hand, nasa gitna. They are separated here by your bilobe ovary. Ang dalawang testes is nasa right side ni bilobe ovary. And the other one na testes is found on the left side of the ovary. For the ova, it would resemble here your Hymenelepis nana. So it would describe this one as your sunny side up, its fried egg appearance. So ang pinagkaiba lang nito ay meron siyang dalawang membranes. The inner membrane containing here also two polar thickening pero wala siyang polar filaments. Again, Hymenelepis nana would always have here the polar filaments. Okay, for the life cycle, so this one requires really an intermediate host. Unlike in your Hymenelepis nana, it might pass even without intermediate host, especially in your direct life cycle with man-to-man infection. Here, this one always requires intermediate host, and the intermediate host could be in the form of your rat, fleas, or even your beetles. So kindly check your PowerPoint about the specific na species of your different intermediate hosts, including also in your Hymenelepis nana. So may mga iba't ibang species tayo ng intermediate hosts for that. Okay, for the life cycle, so same life cycle with your Hymenelepis nana, the indirect life cycle of your Hymenelepis nana, which requires the intermediate hosts. So again, the egg is being taken up here, going to the stomach of your intermediate host. And then, so that's one, kinain itong egg. And then the ova here try to hatch, liberating the hexagon embryo, where try to develop yet to become the larva stage. You call the larva stage here as still cysticercoid larva. Then the larva develop yet to become adult worm, and they're capable of self-fertilization, developing to have the graviproglottids. Then the graviproglottids are shed by apolysis or rupture of the uterus of that, and try to shed here the feces containing here the egg. And then the cycle here continues for that. Okay, the next one, we have here your Diapilidium caninum. Caninum is your dog. So it's also called your dog tapeworm. Other name for this one is your double pore tapeworm because it would have here two sets of reproductive organ. Okay, so for the morphology, adult would have here 60 to 175 proglottids. And the scolex would be 4 capsuckers armed. This is armed rostilium, primarily having armed here with your rose thorn spines. Approximately would have your 30 to 150 spines in transverse rows. We could also have your 1 to 7 rose thorn spines in circles. Okay, on the other hand, we have here your mature proglottids. So this one would have a characteristic na vase shape, barrel shape, orange shape. So that to also have the cucumber seeds, would have a characteristic double port with two sets of the reproductive system, having that bilateral genital pore in the midway on each lateral margin. The graviproglottids, on the other hand, characterized here by your pumpkin seed, containing here the egg packets. And each of the isang egg packet contains here approximately, it depends, actually iba-iba ang number of eggs of that. So some reference would say that there are 8 to 15 eggs in one egg packets. Other would say that 1 to 15 to 25. So like for example, this one is your egg. These are your egg packets. And inside of that packets here, may mga, okay, you could have your 8 to 15 pa or 15 to 25 eggs pa doon sa loob. Okay, then most likely that graviproglotids might curl out. Okay, so para siyang cucumber na parang puti siya makikita sa anus ng dog natin. That's the graviproglotids. So, pag nakita tayo kuminsan na sobrang ganun, mga whitish, so those are the proglotids actually, mga graviproglotids. Okay, for the life cycle, so same life cycle. So, you can find it here by the, okay, the egg, okay, for the terminator host. So, we have here that the egg here is ingested, go to your MES in your stomach and try to hatch, liberating your hexagon embryo, where try to develop here to become the larva. The larva is also cysticercoid. And eventually developing here to become adult worm, where they try to mature, fertilize, self-fertilization, then develop here to become your mature the gravid proglotids. And the gravid proglotids try to undergo apolysis or even rupture of the uterus to shed the egg on the feces. Then the cycle continues for that.